Hey everyone. So it is no secret that we are stuck at home and it is expected of us to have a lot of time on our hands, which is certainly not the case. We are leading very busy lives, even though, well, the world is supposed to have stopped. But life goes on, and in this situation, there is a dire need to be organized. And this is something I personally need. I need a device that could help me organize my tasks, help me organize my calendar, and so on and so forth. And I'm assuming it will be of some utility to you as well. So you should have fun watching this video. So now I have made this application, which I have chosen to call TaskMaster. Let's start with the login page, and there is user authentication in it. For the moment, there are only two accounts, one namely for me, one for admin, just dummy accounts, just to show you the demonstration. And let's say if I put my username and enter the wrong password, it will show me as the login failed and our user password pair is invalid. So I guess we'll have to log in again here, this time with the correct password. There you go, there's our home page. Welcome to TaskMaster. So as you can see, we have 5 features. There is Whiteboard, there's Scrum Board, there is the summary. That is a summary for what we develop in the Scrum Board. There is a Dictaphone. Then there is an Events tab as well. So these are the 5 features that we have in this app at the moment. And so let's go over them one by one. We have the Whiteboard. All right. So Whiteboard has a lot of features in it, as you can see on your screen. And firstly, there is a toggle button. If we click it, the toolbar will open and close. Then on the right hand side, there is the indicator telling us which tool is selected, and you can keep observing the changes in it as we select different tools. Now, there is our cliched pencil tool, which is selected by default. And as you can see, we can draw using this pencil. Just as you do in any other application. There are two options available within the pencil. You can change the size of the pencil that is used, as you can see there. So as you can see, the size, the line width sort of, so to speak, thickened. Then you can change the color of it as well. We get a color picker here, and we get to choose the color of it. We get to take the color of a choice. Let's say I choose red here, and I want a thin pencil. I don't want a thicker brush. Right, there we go, and we can draw as one would usually in a whiteboard of such a nature. Then there is the eraser. We can even choose the eraser size. Let's say I want a bigger eraser because it's more convenient for me, and I can even rub it. And if I want to reverse the changes, I can of course click on the undo option. And as you can see, I'm clicking the undo option, and slowly and steadily it is reverting back to its original shape. Now, the reason why it is doing it so gradually is because, well, I have set it to be so. I personally find it annoying when whiteboard apps remove entire strokes at a go. And as you can see, the red line which we drew just now, it's also heading back. As you can see, there's our undo. If you want to, well, revert our undo, then we can go to the redo option. As you can see, the red line is being drawn again. And right, then there is a clear screen button, but we'll see that in a bit. And before that, all right, before that, we can also put notes in on our whiteboard. and as you can see, the nodes are here, right here, and you can put text in it. Let's say for TaskMaster example, then there are two options. One, you can either minimize the note, the sticky note, or however you wish to call it, or the pad, whatever it is you wish to refer it to as, and then you can minimize it. If it's taking up too much space, you can open it back up. Then you can close it if you don't want it on your screen. Then there are various other options. One is you can upload a picture as well. You can upload pictures. There is our mark sheet section, which I do not want to display at the moment for pretty obvious reasons. So let's say I go to the pictures. I go to wallpapers. Alright, Red Dead Redemption 2, one of the best games to come out in recent history. There you go. You can even refer to these pictures if you want for some notes or some other purposes. If you want to remove them, you can simply click that button. Now, the next button here is the download button. So if, let's say, you've made a sketch, this masterpiece, for example, that I have made right here, I want to download it. I simply click this button, and the file is downloaded in PNG format. Let us give it a second to load, and there you go. That's our drawing. This is going to sell for a lot, as one can see. I'll delete it for now. There is no other use for it at the moment. Alright, coming to the next feature, we can even take a screenshot if we want to use it with notes. For example, let's bring our node back. Let's write A, B, C, D, anything random. Now I want to take a screenshot of this entire set. There you go, the screenshot tool has been loaded, and the image should download any second. There you go. It's also in PNG format, so it's convenient to open it in any particular device. And there you go. The drawing is present, and so is our note, as perfectly as possible. We'll delete this for now as well. Alright, so other feature, now we've already been through undo and redo. Let's zoom in. We can even zoom in through our drawing. We can zoom in a little further, then zoom out. And if you wanted to clear the screen, we can clear it simply. There you go. And that's basically the whiteboard. Now, let me close this. Moving on to the Scrum Board. Now, the Scrum Board is a pretty important tool used in organizations and for their projects. And as you can see, that it's divided into 5 columns. Usually progress is not a feature in the Scrum Board, but I felt like it was an important thing to add, so I added it. There's the backlog, to do in progress, done, and review columns. Now, I'll show you an example. Now, of course, if you click the toggle button here, it will appear and disappear. And there you go. Let's make one node. As you can see, the progress went down to 0, as it should, because we haven't done any work yet. Now, there is to do. Let's make a sample task. For example, make AI component. Now these colors that you see on top, they are not random. They have been assigned priorities, and the white being the default one, which is the very low priority, red being the highest priority, and and of course varying degrees in between. So I want to give this a low priority because AI is very tough and I don't think it will add a lot to my project. So let's say I give it a low priority. Then there is, I want to make a speech to text module, let's say. Make speech to text module. and I have already done it, and we will be seeing it. So there's a bit of foreshadowing for you, and I find it to be a pretty important component, so I'll assign it a very high priority. The reason why the progress bar works is because of this check sign. So if you click the check sign, as you can see, progress is 50% because 50% of the items have been done. So the Scrum board basically is for us, the user. But if we want to check our progress, we need to check which items have been completed. Let's add another sample task here. Let's say I want CSS, and let's have done it, and I want it to be reviewed. Just any random allocation for demonstration purposes. Let's say I've done this as well. Now we can take a screenshot of the Scrum board, which we can see as soon as the image downloads. All right, scrumboard.png. Hopefully we'll see all our tasks as they were. There you go, make AI component, make speech to text module, and the CSS task. Great, and the progress is also visible up there. It's 67%. So I'll delete this for now as well. Now these are all saved in your downloads section, so there's nothing to worry about. You can access it from there without deleting it as well. Now another important component which was visible on our home page was summary. We can access it from here as well. So when we click on summary, there you go, we are redirected to this page, and if we click refresh, we get our progress, that is 67%. There is the 3 tasks that we just make AI component, make speech to text module, CSS, and you can see that you can rewind the video and see that the priority status and other priority status and finished section are exactly as they were. I'll save time and not revert back. And now that we are on the summary section, let's stay here, and we can close Scrum board for now. Right, so we have 3 options, of course, including logout. We don't want to log out just yet. There are still more features to talk about. So we can take a screenshot of this. Let's say I want the entire frame here. I'll take a screenshot. There you go, there's our screenshot, and as you can see, all tasks are visible. Basically you have to click the frame that you want to save, and that is exactly what we've done, removing it for the time being. Now another component here is downloading a text version. Let's say you don't want to waste space by saving an image or a screenshot. You can simply download the text version here. There you go. You can see the date, the time at which it was saved. You probably can't see the time at the moment because my picture is over the watch. Let's see if I can make it visible for you. There you go. You can see the time, and it's precise, very precise to the second. You can see the progress level. You can see the task ID, the task status, priority, and work for all the tasks that we just added. And I'll close this for now. Let's go back to the home page. Right, so next feature that we would like to go to is the Dictaphone. Now, as you can see, there is a button here for recording your text. There is transcript. There is, of course, the logout button. Now you can use this text area to either type your text, or the modern way to do it is to record. Click the record button and say whatever you want to. For example, hi, how are you today? There you go. I forgot to turn the recording off there. Now I can either simply go through this here, or I could download a transcript of my audio recording. There you go. The date and the time. You can see it's accurate. And then there's your transcript. Hi, how are you today? There you go. As perfect as it could be. Right. That was our dictaphone. Now we can go on to the events tab, which is our final feature for this application. Now, this is basically a calendar where applications can be added, and there you go. You can add an event. Let's say I have a quiz. I have an exam on 7th, end term exam. I can simply click here and it will open a modal, and I'll write C++ end term exam, and I'll save it. And as you can see, it's visible. And I'd already saved a task previously here in October. Let's say birthday, it's my birthday, but I want to delete this because it's not actually my birthday. So I've removed it. And we're back to June. And I want to go to let's say New Delhi after the pandemic ends, and I hope it does by 25th, which is a stretch, but I want to go to Delhi, let's say by the end of the month. So on 25th I want to book tickets. I'll save it, and let's say these are 2 events that we have at the moment. Let's make one for another month, a random event. Well, I am bad with dates, so I need a reminder to come back from Delhi once I go from Delhi. There you go. I'll save this event as well. So I should be back on 1st July in case you don't hear from me. Now what I can do is I can now this calendar in particular is persistent. So even if I close it, I will reopen the tab, and you can see my events are still there, and that's pretty good. But let's say I don't trust this feature. Let's say there are memory problems and I want the events in the form of a list. So there is our text version button, as we have encountered before, and we'll simply click this. We get our event summary. The file name, as you might have noticed, is today's date and the timestamp, which is also mentioned here. And then there are 2 columns. One is the date, which is in the month, date, year format. Then there is our event, which now these are the exact same 3 events which I just talked about. Now that is our calendar, and then of course we can simply log out, and we're back to the home screen. And that is it for this app, and thank you so much for watching.